Hey, I'm Athletes Larry Sorensen here, and today I'm going to talk about gripping the pickleball racket. Pros and cons of two different grips. This one and this one. So let's start with a couple of cons. We'll start with this one. So what could be a con here? One, potentially could be in a backhand, you might hit your finger. Not the biggest thing for me. If you're hitting it down there, it's kind of off the mark anyway. But that is one con. To me, the bigger con is the lack of mobility in the wrist so that you can get the correct angle to hit good drives and top spins. It's a little harder to do that when this finger is up here. The other issue I would have with this would be during play, I do like to change the length of my grip depending on what I'm trying to do. Controlled shots would be a little bit tighter grip up here, maybe shots to get a little bit more leverage down here, or even to reach for a ball at the last second. I let the grip slide a little bit, so harder to do that with this. So what are the pros of doing this? Well, like most people say, you feel like you have some stability with your hits. So it's easy to kind of fall into that where you're just feeling really comfortable with the control. One, because you got a short grip is why you're getting that control. And two, you got this extra finger out here to really kind of hit blunt shots. It just makes it a little harder to get velocity and top spins and be loose with the ball. So there is some positives to this. There's some negatives. How about this grip? Start with the negatives. Well, the negatives is you tend to grip it farther down. It's a longer lever, which can create a little bit wilder shots, maybe not as much accuracy. It also can take maybe, let's say, a little bit more strength, especially if you're down at the end, to get through the racket, because again, the racket's a little bit longer. So, and you don't feel maybe as stable as you could this way. So those are some negatives to this. Positives to this, I would say one is, of course, the backhand. There's nothing there. Again, that's not the biggest thing in the world. Two, I would say the bigger one for me is the ability, like I said before, to shift my hand during play even a little higher if I need a controlled shot, or a little bit lower if I'm trying to get a big swing and get a big heavy topspin. The other thing is with this grip, it is easier to flex the wrist back and get the wrist motion correct so you can hit through and hit a topspin ball. And then lastly, kind of like I mentioned before, there are times in a play where I might be fully stretched to get there, and I might have a short grip. I can let the racket slide a little, and I can literally hit the ball enough to save it right this and slide right back in to hit. So a couple of advantages to that. So the big argument is, which is better, or which is the way you should do it, or which way do the pros do it? I would say this. If you're just playing at your club and you just want to be consistent and hit it, especially maybe if you're an autumn athlete in your upper years, you're not planning on going pro anytime soon, and you just want to be a little more stable, I'm not going to fault you for doing this. But what I will say is if you want to be the best that you can be, certainly if you want to compete at high levels, but you just want to be the best player that you can be, I would recommend that you work on this grip. And if you feel you need more control, just bring your hand up here and shorten the paddle. If you feel like you're ready to get a little more leverage and hit the ball a little bit harder, get it down here a little bit. But this will help you with all those things I talked about earlier. And I think if you really want to be the top player that you can be, I would suggest doing this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like always, if you like what we're doing here at Autumn Athletes, not done yet, please like, subscribe, ding that bell for notifications, and we'll see you next time.